welcome to the Small Biz Better Summit. We are so happy to have you all here joining us today. Welcome. And we see you joining from all over the world. We are so happy to have you all. If you would, please let us know where you are joining us from. Just type in the chat box where you're joining us from, and we'd love to give you a shout out here live on the air. So we're really happy for this summit where we're talking about money issues. And we figured it's about time. Let's talk about money, right? And so a lot of great topics, a lot of great speakers. It's a jam-packed summit. So we hope that you are ready for a lot of good material. All right, and I want to check in and see where everyone is joining us from. So looks like we have joining us Orlando, Florida. Awesome. We're based in Orlando. Excellent. We have New York. Okay. Just the state of New York or possibly New York City. All right. Excellent. We have Chicago joining us. We have Irmo joining us. We have Apple Valley joining us. Awesome. We have Albuquerque joining us. Thank you so much. Really happy to India. Excellent. Any other places that I might have missed, please do let us know in the chat so we can give you a shout out. We have Texas, welcome. So happy to have you, Texas. South Africa, awesome. We have some team members in South Africa, so happy to have you guys joining us. We have Dulwich, United Kingdom, the UK, awesome. Welcome from the UK, so happy to have you. We have Southern California. We got a lot of connections out there in Southern California. Really happy to have you guys joining us. So thank you so much for joining us. If I didn't give you a shout out, please do enter your where you're joining us from. We'd love to give you a shout out here live on the air. And welcome to the Small Biz Better Summit. So happy to have you all here. We are talking about money issues. Money matters. And this was a popular topic that we got requested to, hey, can you guys do a talk just about money? And we're like, of course, yeah, money, small business, yeah, kind of goes hand in hand, yeah. And so this whole summit, 2 full days about money. Let's talk about money and let's really get a firm understanding of money. So we have several speakers that are going to be talking to you not only about the practicality of money, but the behind the scenes, the hidden factors of money. What are some of those hidden success factors of money? Also, what are some of the things on how to manage your money? So when you get the money, how do you manage it? How do you get the money from your marketing campaigns? We're going to talk about that right now in this session. That's what today's session, this session right now is about. So we have a lot of great topics to cover, a lot of interviews, a lot of presentations. So I hope you are ready. If you haven't already, make sure you sign up for each one of the sessions so that you get the email notifications on when each session is starting and how you can join that session. And without any further ado, let's jump on into my favorite topic, which is marketing. And we want to talk a little bit about marketing and money. You know, marketing, money kind of go hand in hand. So let's talk about it. Let's chat about it. Again, if you have questions throughout the talk today, please make sure to enter them real time in the chat. We're going to address those questions live in the live Q&A session. The live speaker Q&A session, which we're going to be having later in this summit. So please put those questions in the chat box. If you are watching the replay of this and you're not joining us live, no problem at all. On the page that this replay is displaying, there's a comment section below the replay video. You can leave your questions there, and my team and I will collect all those questions and we'll make sure to get to them during the live Q&A during the summit. So whether you're watching the replay or you're joining us live now, go ahead and enter those questions. We'd love to have those so that we can address your needs directly. And marketing and money, let's talk about it. That's what we're doing this whole summit. We are talking about money, and we are really getting a firm understanding of money, how to better use it in our business, how to better manage it, how to grow it, how to show it, and really how to get to know it a lot better. Right. So as we talk about money and marketing tips, I really want you guys to really think below the surface. If you attended this last summit that we had, we talked a lot about marketing underneath the surface and how much marketing is underneath the iceberg or underneath the surface that you don't see. A lot of people like to see, oh yeah, websites, logo, and all those great fun things, but real marketing, the real success is actually below the iceberg. The same applies with business, the same applies with money, and also the same applies with your life and your life happiness and things of that sort. So we're going to talk about, well, we're not going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about the marketing part in this session today. And some of the other speakers are going to cover the other components. And in future summits, we're going to be having other deeper dives into some of those other components that contribute to small business success as well. So who's this guy talking to you, the guy that's opening up the summit, and why am I, who is he? Hi, I'm Marcus. Yes, that U is capitalized on purpose. So at my digital marketing agency, we like to focus on you, the end consumer. We like to focus on our clients, and really focus on what we call the user experience. So that's why the U is capitalized. And another point of differentiation, one, because I have a very common name, Marcus, and that capital U has a lot of differentiation. So I love that capital U. So yes, the U is capitalized on purpose. So hi, I'm Marcus. I'm the founder, owner, and chief growth strategist of Social Marquee. Social Marquee actually stands for Social Marketing Quintessence. Quintessence just means the highest degree of anything that you can achieve. We set the bar, we set the standard. A lot of people think it's a play on my name. That just happens to be coincidence. So Social Marquee is my business. We've actually had this business now for 11 years, started in 2008. So really, really happy about that. Really happy about the success. Oh, going on 12 years because we're about to go into 2020. So really happy about that. Really happy about the success. I've been doing digital marketing now for 20 years, ever since 1999. When I started developing websites back in 99, when they were the new hot thing, right before the .com bubble burst. So doing that for 20 years. At my digital marketing agency, we're what you call brain and behavior experts. And that's our USP, or your unique selling proposition. If you don't have a unique selling proposition in your business, make sure you get a unique selling proposition ASAP in your business. Your unique selling proposition is what differentiates you from everyone else in your category. So in digital marketers, what distinguishes us from other digital marketers? If you're a plumber, real estate agent, we talk to a lot of real estate agents, no matter what your field, what differentiates you from other people? And it has to be something that is hard for people to copy. We talk to a lot of, I'll just throw out an example, real estate agents, and they'll say, oh yeah, I know all the best places to reside, and I can find you the best house, the best price. Any real estate agent can say that. What makes purchasing a home through you unique? And that's what you got to focus on for your unique selling proposition in your business. So at my business, we're what we call brain and behavior experts. We study the brain, and we study more of the subconscious brain. So the subconscious brain is that part of our brain that we don't even know that we have. But that subconscious part of our brain actually drives conscious behavior. And the more and more we can understand that subconscious behavior, subconscious precursors that drive human behavior, the better we can align with our customers when it's time for them to make purchases with us or make purchases with our clients. And so we call it digital marketing at a cellular level, getting below the surface of everything you see, all those great things, logos, websites, all those things are great, but what's holding up that logo on that website? You may not be thinking about it right now, but the building that you're standing in or the building that you're sitting in watching this video right now, you probably didn't walk into that building and think, oh my goodness, this is an amazing foundation. You probably didn't think about that, but the foundation, without that foundation, everything else in the building would simply collapse. And the same thing with your marketing, same thing with your business. All right, so we're brain and behavior experts. That's what sets us apart from other digital marketing agencies. And we are a digital marketing agency designed specifically for business growth. So the tools and tactics that we talk about is specifically not just about marketing, which most people think when they think marketing, they think promotion or advertising, which is part of marketing, but it's a very small part actually of marketing, about 4% of marketing. But when we talk about digital marketing for business growth, what are some things that we can do to actually grow our business? How can we leverage marketing, leverage our customers, leverage our unique selling proposition to get us more and more business? That way, it's more than just us, the workers, trying to grow the business. We're leveraging our efforts, we're leveraging our customers, we're leveraging everything that we can leverage in order to exponentially grow the business in record time. So that's what we're geared at, a digital marketing agency designed specifically for business growth. Our mission is we're good people helping good people positively impact massively more and more good people. So we feel as long as we're doing that with our mission, one reason we do so much free education for people is because this is part of our mission. We're good people helping good people. We are a firm believer that the more good people have the information, the more good they can do in the world, and the better the world can be, right? And so this is our mission. This is why we have the Small Business Better Summit for free. This is another reason we have free webinars on how to improve your marketing, even advanced type marketing when we're talking about advertising and Facebook advertising and branding and some other topics that we get into in those webinars. And if you're watching the summit, you have access to that as well. And those emails will be sent to you when we have those regular webinars in addition to these summits. But we're on a mission to how can we just help equip and empower good people to do more good in the world. And we found that when you are sticking to your mission, sticking to your values, the money comes. The money comes, and you leverage those efforts, the money flows to you. We're going to talk about that right now. How do we get this money flowing to us? Because of course, money is probably on a lot of our minds. And speaking of on a lot of our minds, it's even on the mind of this cat right here. And this is supposed to be a GIF that's actually moving. So I guess the software doesn't capture the GIF movement, but the hand here is actually grabbing for the money, and the cat will actually swipe the hand away when it's coming towards its money. Everybody is talking about money. Everybody needs more money. Everybody wants more money, and that's the way society is kind of designed it, right? Where a lot of us feel like we're dependent on money, or a lot of us feel like we have to have money. We have to have money to do X, Y, and Z. And one of my mentors gave me a very interesting perspective. He said, Marcus, if you've gotten to where money is the solution or is the problem, you haven't gotten to the real root of the problem. I'll say that again. He said, Marcus, if you've gotten to the point where money is the solution or money is the problem, you haven't gotten to the real root of the problem. And this was by one of my mentors. His name is John Rivers. He owns several businesses here in Orlando, where we're based. And that really stuck with me. And I asked him follow-up questions, and he was talking about how money was really a symptom, and how money is not ever a lack of money. Think of money as a resource, just like your team is a resource, just like your software is a resource. Money is a resource. And so how can we not depend on the resource? How can we depend on our own resourcefulness? And so he gave me a couple of examples. He was talking about how a lot of us say, hey, if I win the lottery, all my money troubles will be over, right? So you might find it interesting that lottery winners are statistically the ones most likely to declare bankruptcy after winning the lottery, even more so than those who never win the lottery. Even more interesting, most lottery winners, the vast majority of lottery winners, actually go broke within 3 to 5 years of winning the lottery. We're talking about multi-mega millions. 3 to 5 years later, have often less money than they had than before they won the lottery. How is this possible? If money is supposed to solve our problems, how come this is a very common trait and very common statistic? CNBC did a study where most people think, hey, if I had more money, my problems will be over. And in this study, they found out that money and more money does not equal happiness and does not equal more happiness. And so this all tied scientific evidence kind of to what my mentor was telling me about, how money is a resource. And so he said the problem is never a lack of resources such as money, time, personnel. The problem is a lack of resourcefulness. If we have the resourcefulness, we'll learn how to get the money. We'll learn how to leverage our efforts and our inputs and our exports, and we'll learn how to leverage the things in our business in order to grow our money, in order to grow our other resources. Things that you're doing right now, you're being resourceful right now and attending this Small Biz Better Summit. This is something that was free of charge, but it costs you your time. You're investing your time into learning more, into increasing your resourcefulness. So you're doing that right now. And this is one of the things that we're going to encourage you to keep doing through these Small Biz Better Summits, as well as to the webinars. Keep working on your resourcefulness. And that has a root stake in your mindset. So improving your mindset, increasing the capacity of your mindset for growth, creativity, and resourcefulness is something that can really help you grow your business a lot more than you probably would have imagined. All right, so off my soapbox. Now, a few of you might remember this slide. We talked about this a couple of summits ago as well, and I wanted to touch back on it because, again, we were talking about how marketing is really those things underneath the surface that we don't think about. Marketing success, business success, as well as life success and several other things. You might remember seeing, or maybe you've seen this graphic somewhere on social media or on the internet that talks about the iceberg illusion, the iceberg illusion. Success is an iceberg. You know, everybody sees the success, everybody sees the glory, everybody doesn't see the story. Everybody sees the testimony, but they don't see the test that led to the testimony, right? And I love this one. A lot of people see the message, but a lot of people don't see the mess that led to the message, right? That's something we use a lot at our digital marketing agency as well. So underneath the surface, what are those factors that contribute to your success? Those business success, persistence, failure, sacrifice, failure, learning things through failure is actually one of the things that actually helps increase success. One of my mentors was just talking about that in a session last week. In fact, you're going to hear from him in this summit. His name is Sean Smith. Actually, you're going to hear from him in two sessions, a live Q&A with Sean and his session, his interview. And all these hidden factors of success that go into that we don't think about and that we don't see on social media. We see the 1 million followers, or we see the $1 million, the $1 billion, but a lot of times we don't see necessarily the hard work that went in there, the behind the scenes. And so that's exactly what we want to focus on here today, those behind the scenes components, just like in marketing. So if you remember from last session, or if you weren't at last session, no problem. I'll give you a quick run through of it. Most of marketing success is going to be underneath what you see. So we have a rule at my agency: if it's anything that you can see with anything that you can perceive with the 5 senses, if you can see it, hear it, taste it, touch it, feel it, then it's part of the visible 5% of the iceberg. Anything you can perceive with your senses. If it's if it's a website, I can see a website, it's part of the 5 cents, the 5%. A logo, I can see a logo, it's part of the 5%. Likes and follows. Everybody comes to us saying, hey, I want more likes, I want more follows. It's also part of the 5%. So those 5%, just like this iceberg here, those 5% would not stand above the water, would not be able to float above the water if it weren't for that 95% that's underneath the water. Things that make up your strategy, your mindset. We talk about the customer experience a lot. What is the journey that your customers are going to go through as they experience you, from the time that they first learn about you to the time that they're complete with you, whenever that is, right? So what is that customer experience like? We're going to talk about that between today and tomorrow, the next session as well. So this is a 2-part session, the session here today. So part 2 is actually on day 2 of the summit as well. So make sure you catch that. But don't worry, we're not done with the part 1 yet. I just wanted to give you a heads up. So the customer experience, the customer journey. A lot of people are shocked about this one, but true branding, having true branding underneath the iceberg. Well, people say, hey, yeah, I slapped my brand on all of our products and all our services, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people equate your brand with your logo, and your brand is not your logo. I repeat, your brand is not your logo. I can sing it on the mountaintops. Branding is one of the most overused terms, not only in marketing, but in business in general. A lot of people say, hey, they'll come to us and say, hey, we want to do better with our branding. And a lot of times they want a better logo. But branding is really, what is the experience that customer has, or what is that experience they feel when they interact with your products and service? And how do they feel once they leave your product and service? Are they still talking about you? Are they still raving about you? Are they still telling their friends and family about you, right? So that's what true branding is about. That feeling that they get. Your logo should remind them of that feeling or that branding. For example, Apple. Many people have some sort of Apple products. I have some Apple computers and some other Apple products, but I'm team Samsung. But the Apple logo, it reminds you of the Apple brand. Same thing with Nike, just do it. That check mark reminds you of the the athletes and the go-get-'emness of athleticism. It reminds you of something more than just the logo, right? Starbucks, all these things. Starbucks is a brand, right? A lot of people don't even know what the Starbucks logo is. It's actually a siren, which is a mermaid that actually lures people from the shore and drags them down beneath the ocean to their death, right? But that's the logo, but the brand doesn't represent anything like that. Well, some people might joke, but the brand doesn't represent anything like that, right? The brand is about the experience you get when you go into the coffee shop and how they treat you when they're taking your order, when they deliver your order, when you're enjoying your coffee over whatever you're reading the newspaper or reading your phone or reading an article on your phone, things of that sort. So it's talking about the experience, right? So keep that in mind too. Branding is not about your logo. It's only a very, 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 very small part. Systems, we get this question a lot. What are the best systems to have for my business? What are the, do I need this system? Do I need this system? We'll tell you kind of a secret. All the systems are pretty much kind of the same. There's a few give and take features here and there. Some will charge a little more for a few features. Some will charge a little less. All in all, about the same. The key with systems is the system is only designed, or the tool, actually, excuse me, the tool that people ask us about, should I use this email platform or this social media platform? The tool is only designed to optimize whatever strategy and whatever internal systems or POS, SOP. POS is a point of sale. We were just working with one of our e-commerce clients before this summit, but SOP, SOP, standard operating procedure. Those are your systems. So systems doesn't necessarily be technical, but what are your standard operating procedures for when you get a client or when you are fulfilling a client order, things of that sort. So the tools are only designed to optimize whatever systems and strategies you have in place. And most people don't have the systems and strategies in place. And you see where they fall here on the iceberg. They're that 95% underneath the water that a lot of people don't think about. And finally, just as a recap, psychographics versus demographics. Demographics are everything that you can see. What's their ethnicity? Are they male, female? What's their age group? These are demographics, things that you can see. Psychographics is what are they thinking? What are their pain points? How do they experience their pain points? How can you alleviate their pain points? Where do they gather? Where do they gather their information? These are all things that get down into the mindset of your customers that you want to think about. So these are all part of the 95% that we want to focus on versus the 5% that we see. But of course, most people are going to focus on what they see, right? So now you have this knowledge and you can focus beneath the iceberg as well. All right, so why does all this matter? Why do we care about all of these things? I'm so glad you asked. We care about these things because when we look underneath the iceberg, this helps us better align with our customers. And as our customers are looking to alleviate some sort of pain, as they're looking to get some sort of product or service, they're really not looking for the product or service. They're looking for whatever benefit that product or service is going to get them. And this is something that we call the ATIS model in marketing. And what it does is it helps diagram the buying process. Every time somebody is about to make a purchase or thinking about buying something, this process, no matter what it is, always, always, always happens every single time. Now you might be wondering, Marcus, hold on. Sometimes I go to the grocery store and see something and I buy it instantly. Yeah, absolutely. I do that a lot as well. I think the grocery stores where I am are very evil. They will place these very nice chocolate chip and brownie creations right at the end cap that they know I'm just going to grab and put in my basket because I have such a great sweet tooth, right? But I submit to you, even then, this process always happens. Now, this process might be instantaneous, but the process always happens. When we think about the process and how our brain works, our brain submits information at the speed of light. And so the speed of light actually travels around the entire earth in 1 second, 7 times, all right? The entire earth 7 times in 1 single second. So imagine it going from this ear to this ear. It's virtually instantaneous. By the time you realize you had the thought has traversed literally 1,000,000 times previously, right? And so this ATIS model actually helps us diagram how people make buying decisions on a subconscious level And now we can meet them where they are along the buying process. So let's deep dive a little bit more into how people buy here. So the first stage of how people buy is what we call awareness. First, they got to become aware of your product or service. Hey, I'm selling something here. Hey, I'm Marcus. I'm selling this, right? The problem is, and I just did it to you there, a lot of times we'll try to make someone aware of what of who we are and get them to take action all in the same step. But if you see here, action is actually 3 steps or step 4, and we're talking about step 1. So this is something common that we'll see. We'll see the big boys, McDonald's or something like that. They'll have a billboard up, hey, buy this for 2 for 3, or some commercial, right? One thing we want to do here is distinguish kind of the big boy marketing from small business marketing, right? Big boy marketing, we often say here, you have to have the numbers to play the numbers game. McDonald's has the numbers to play the numbers game, right? They have the millions of dollars every hour that they can spend on promotion and advertising. They have the millions of impressions, or the times that you see their products and services subconsciously to help you, to help get into your subconscious mind. Same thing with Starbucks, right? All of these big brands, they have the numbers to play the numbers game. So we recommend that small businesses don't use them as examples on how to do their promotions, their advertising, and their marketing, because it's not the same. A lot of times we don't have millions of dollars every hour to spend on our promotion and our advertising, right? And so when we're talking about small business, one thing that we do is we make you aware, or we recommend small businesses, hey, make yourself aware, but just stop there. All right. So an analogy we give here is dating. Think about when you were with your significant other, or if you're dating, or if you're married, whatever stage you are, thinking about your significant other. How would it be if he or she just approached you and like, hi, I'm John, marry me? You know, maybe it is the right question, but definitely the wrong time, right? So even the right question at the wrong time is still disastrous. Same thing that happens in your marketing, right? So the very first stage, when they're awareness, just make them aware of you. Hi, I'm so-and-so, right? And stop there. You know, make them aware of you. Don't necessarily go in for the kill. After you've made yourself aware, we move to the second stage, which is interest. Okay, I'm aware of you. Am I now interested in you, or interested in what you have to offer? So if I'm at the mall and I see a nice young lady and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Marcus. If there's interest there, we move to the interest stage, as opposed to me saying, hey, I'm Marcus, marry me. You know, that probably wouldn't go well, right? Even if she was interested, even if she did have the desire, even if she did think everything, it's still the right question, maybe at the very wrong time, which makes it the wrong question, right? And so I'm aware now. Am I interested? Hey, get their name, get their number, strike up a conversation, right? You want to try to think about the same process when you're doing your marketing as well. Hey, I'm selling. You don't even have to tell them you're selling widgets. In fact, that's what everybody else does. You don't want to do what everybody else does, because everybody else is usually not satisfied where they are anyway. So you don't want to use them as the barometer for your own success, right? So just start off, hey, how you doing? I'm Marcus. Get to know them, right? Start building that relationship. We like to think of marketing more as a relationship as opposed to a transaction. So build that interest. Is there an interest there? All right. So if I'm meet the girl in the mall, like, hey, how you doing? Strike up a conversation. Is she interested? Then is there a desire to act on that interest? This is stage 3, right? So yeah, I met him. Seems like a nice guy. Yeah, we had a nice conversation. Cool. All right. Yeah, sure. I'll give him my number, right? And so is that desire there to get to act on the interest? All right. So I'll give you another example. Same thing with these summits. You may have seen an email from one of our speakers who's speaking today and tomorrow. You might have seen a post on social media. You became aware, then you were interested. All right, yeah, I think this is good. I think I can learn something from it. Now let me, now in the back of your mind, we're forming that desire. But before that desire in itself isn't enough. And so a lot of times we'll get people, and this happens with a lot of our clients, we'll see that there's a lot of people that have the desire to use their product or service, or to engage with them in some form or fashion, but they have not yet taken the action. And this is that final step. After there's that desire, do they take the action? All right. Can we get them to take the action? Can we help support them to take the action? Right. So we have, at my agency, we've made the decision actually to purchase some software for an event that we have coming up, but we have not yet taken the action. Right. And so that action is a crucial step. So just because they have a desire to act doesn't mean they've actually taken the action. I hope that makes sense. All right, so look at these 4 steps, just like if I'm dating, if you're your significant other, when they were courting you, or if you are currently courting, think of the whole marketing process as the same type of process. They become aware of you, they build interest, is there a desire, and then the action. Now, important key clue here, action doesn't necessarily mean purchase. An action can just be what we call a call to action. It could be signing up for a summit, right? It could be forwarding something to a friend. It could be watching a video. It could be a number of different things, and you want to define what that action is. So many of you may have heard of the term funnel going around in social media or online marketing. Doesn't this look a lot like a funnel? Yeah, that's on purpose, because that's actually what the funnel is. All right, so when you hear people talking about funnels, this is actually what we're talking about. Now, keep in mind, there can be several funnels inside a larger funnel. So think of this as a campaign. When we talk about the title of this, More Cash for Your Campaigns, this is what we do as an agency. We have basically a big funnel, and that big funnel is made up of several little funnels that lead to the action of the big funnel. So think of this this way. You can have an entire, I don't know if my pointer is showing. Yes, let me see if I can get that out. All right, so you can have an entire funnel just inside this awareness component. All right, actually, if you want to be technical, you can have several funnels just inside of this awareness funnel. In fact, technically, the way a funnel is structured, you do have several funnels inside this awareness structure, because there is some sort of action, or usually some sort of there's some sort of move for the customer to move from awareness to interest, right? Whether that be read more of your blog, whether that be click on a link, whether that be whatever, right? So think of it this way. There's several funnels inside each step in a funnel, all right? So I don't want you to think of, we get a lot of people that'll, there's a lot of these kind of shortcut marketing tactics. Unfortunately, they just don't work. Everyone that comes to us, they're like, yeah, I tried X, Y, and Z. And we're like, yeah, they're not going to work. And the reason they don't work is because think of each campaign kind of like a recipe. You can get the exact ingredients for a recipe, but depending on how you mix something, depending on how much of each thing you use, or even if it says 5 shakes of pepper, my shake might be a lot different than your shake, right? And so there's so many different variations. So think of campaigns as like a recipe, or think of them like, I love this analogy, think of them like your children, or like children. Have you ever met, if you have children, and do your children all have the same personalities, even though they have the same parents, or children with the same parents? Do they all have the same personality? So I would say with my alleged sister, yes, alleged, I have not seen any paperwork on her yet, but with my alleged sister, we're night and day different, right? I'm kind of more the outgoing one. Shh, don't tell anybody. She's more the quiet, reserved one, right? And so think of that. So that's why a lot of those don't work. Because they're recipes. We want people to look at them for influence, get the information from them, but don't ape them, don't copy them, because they're not going to work the exact same way for your business, because it wasn't for your business, right? And so we want you to keep this process in mind as you're going through your marketing. Think about how you're going to get your customers from each step to each step. What can I do to nurture them during the awareness stage, just to make them feel good, make them feel at home? What about the interest stage? What about the desire stage? And then finally the action stage. And when they do take action, you want to wow them, right? You want them to like, wow, we really are really impressed with whatever this is. We want to come back. We want to repeat that action. And so that's the S in the ATIS model, satisfaction. Was the customer satisfied when they took action? If I asked the young lady out and she agreed to be my girlfriend, is she now satisfied that she agreed to be my girlfriend? So it's not, so that's actually when the process begins, because we have to keep that nurturing going even after they take action, because there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of people trying to take your customers. So how are you going to keep them? How are you going to keep them satisfied? And it's more than just offering sales. Think deeper. How are we going to offer them experience, right? So we call this the satisfaction piece, customer retention. It costs 8 to 9 times less to retain a customer that you already have than to attract a new customer or attract a new lead. A lot of people are talking about lead generation, and that is important, but customer retention is also equally as important, because if you're getting new leads and you're converting those leads to customers, if you're not retaining those customers, you're really losing a huge part of your revenue. And this is what we really want to focus on when we're talking about leveraging your income, leveraging your marketing, and leveraging your campaigns so that your campaigns starting to make you more and more money. This is kind of something that's not talked about a lot, and that's another reason we want to talk about it, so you guys can get the very front row behind the scenes look at some of these things that lead to marketing success. And that actually concludes part 1 of more marketing for your money, more cash for your campaigns. And so as you go through the rest of today, as you go through the rest of the summit, as you go through the rest of tomorrow, please remember, jot your questions down in the chat. If you're watching the replay, make sure you, or watching the replay of each event, when you click the replay on the replay page that's in your email, right below that, there are comment sections for you to leave comments, and we'll comb through those and we'll make sure we gather all of them for the speakers for you. So please make sure to leave those comments. The speakers want to hear from you. Also, please share this summit, this free summit, with your friends. We're really on a mission to just help empower people with this information that few people talk about. We want to help them realize, hey, small business is more than just a noun. Small business is a verb. Small business is something you have to do. Another reason we're small biz better. You have to small biz better. You have to do stuff in order to get better at your business, in order to leverage your business. Awesome. So session 1 now in the book. So what will happen is you will get an email for each of the sessions that you've registered for, and it'll show you how to access them, just like you did this session here today. And so go ahead and check out for the next session. We're going to wrap this session up. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to a lot more to come. This is one session of 8. I'm so excited. One session of 8 here at the Small Biz Better Summit this November. And so with that, we will bid you see you later until the next session.